Radios presents r/Ask Reddit. If you enjoy the video, show your support by commenting, liking and subscribing to the channel. What's a thing you always wanted as a child that you never got? Close friends. You know, the kind that you grow old with. They invite you to be a bridesmaid or groomsman at their wedding. Their kids call you aunt/uncle. You call each other when you're going through a rough time. etc. You know, those cars that are just big enough for kids and you can actually drive around because it has a battery. They always looked fun. I used to be obsessed with dragons and I would ask for dragon bones so I could prove they exist. I never got them, but my parents got me a box of rattlesnake bones for Christmas and that was really cool. Easy bake oven. Yes, I am a dude. I ended up studying to be a pastry chef, hab. A Tamagotchi. Dad wouldn't let me have one because it's made in the image of a living thing and only is allowed to do that or something like that, so he said. I think he was just cheap af. I actually forgot about that. Might be time to get myself a Tamagotchi. Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Just turned 60. My youngest daughter got it for me for Christmas last year. I wanted to go to Discovery Zone and my mom would always say, yeah, I'll take you. Calm down. Well, guess what, they went out of business and I never went. Edit. I love my mom and I, even though I give her a hard time every now and then, she is my favorite and she has more than apologized for not taking me when she should have. Honestly, I was also kind of a nightmare kid and never deserved to go. A normal childhood. Edit. While it's unfortunately comforting to feel like I'm not alone, I'm very sorry so many other people are relating to this comment. Good luck to all of you, Red Heart. I practically had everything but family time. My parents were all about time and money with their multiple bargain stores. I had babysitters and I saw them as a mom or big sister and they all left. I still remember bawling out my eyes over my favorite one leaving to get married and start her own life. Not me, but my father desperately wanted certain air pistol, legal for kids at that time. Cheap, but they didn't have the money. When I gave him one for his 50th birthday, exact same type, they still make them and they are cheap, it was the only time I have seen him cry. An American Girl doll, specifically Josephina. I was the poor kid growing up and all of my toys came from the thrift store. Every Christmas I would ask for a Josephina doll and Santa never got me one. Now as an adult, I feel so bad for my single mother who had a lot of guilt over it. I still want one though, despite the fact that I don't have any kids or nieces. I saw one at Costco the other month and near bought it, but my sister talked me out of it. They are expensive. My size Barbie. I swear, I asked for it several birthdays and Christmases in a row and never got one. Then when it somehow came up in conversation with my mom not long ago, she said she would have gotten me one if she knew I really wanted one. Obviously not, Mom. A Barbie dream house. My parents said not to ask for one for my birthday because it was too expensive. Contemplated asking my grandma, but felt too guilty and ended up asking for a set of towels from her instead. I was 8. A Snoopy snow cone machine. They started selling them at Target for Christmas the last couple of years and now I get the experience of being both the kid who wants one and the mom who says no, you'll play with it once and never use it again. Heelys. We could never afford them when I was younger, I still don't have my own pair. When I was 6 to 7 years old, I wanted to be a paleontologist. My teachers didn't know what a paleontologist was, but I loved dinosaurs and I desperately wanted to find some fossils. My parents even got me a rock hammer and some goggles for my 7th birthday, but what I really wanted was a family vacation in the Alberta Badlands, where, I had read, there were lots of dinosaur fossils waiting to be discovered. We never did do that vacation, but when I was 18, we moved from Ontario to British Columbia. Our first full summer here, my parents rented an RV and took my 2 younger brothers on a camping vacation. I was about to start university, so I stayed home and worked instead of going. Guess where they went? I really wanted one of those slide-forward/swing sets for our backyard. We had plenty of space for it and we'd see them on sale outside hardware stores all the time, but my parents never got one for me. Sad smiley. I always wanted a trampoline with a net around the outside. Probably for the better that I didn't get one though, I would have probably injured myself. A Nintendo. Christmas was right around the corner, and Mom started dropping hints that Santa would be bringing a video game console. But Santa couldn't decide if he should bring a Nintendo or a Sega. I wanted a Nintendo. My brother wanted a Sega. The debate soon turned into a screaming match. As the argument was about to devolve into a fist fight, Mom broke it up and said, "Hey, if you're going to be like this, no video games." So, yeah. Instead of a Nintendo for Christmas, I got video games banned from my house. A tree house. Just didn't have the right trees for one, and Dad was too busy with work to help make one. From 10 to 13 I wanted Jennifer, the neighbor's teen daughter who came over every other weekend to sunbathe topless in the yard. A mohawk. 6-year-old me thought it was the coolest hairstyle ever. My parents said no because people would think I was in a gang. The office I work in is fairly laid back, but I don't think they'd appreciate it if I went ahead and got one now. This might get buried, well here I go. I wanted /want a game console. My parents don't find it appropriate for a girl. Now their reason has changed to too expensive. I wanted my parents to divorce because I thought it would be better than them screaming and being angry and threatening to leave all the time. They are still together, and I don't know why. They literally hate each other and don't get along at all, but they stay in the same house. My own bed. I slept on a fold-out cot for my first 13 years. A pogo stick. I asked for one for Christmas for like 6 years in a row. Also one of those little ball things with a ring around it that you bounced around on. I have no idea what they were called. In hindsight, I understand why my parents didn't get me either thing. I'm okay with it now, but it was heartbreaking as a kid. A family that loves me. To stop moving so I could get some close friends. I went through 7 schools before college. Food skeptical smiley. A dog sad smiley. A pillow pet, does anyone remember those? Cheese strings. I always wanted them, don't know why, but was never allowed sad smiley. One of those twirly things you could make splatter art with. Also some sock emboppers. More fun than a pillow fight. A trip with my friends. When I was a kid and in my early teens, every year my friend would travel to his hometown, where his family had a small ranch, and take his friends with him. They'd have tons of fun for a weekend, and then come back telling all these wonderful stories. For some reason I still don't understand very well, my parents never let me go there, and they never explained to me why. It still makes me angry thinking about it to this day. The Disney Polly Pockets. They were made by Bluebird. They were the coolest thing ever, and my mom managed to get me Cinderella's castle and house before they disappeared, and now you can only find them on eBay. I desperately wanted the Agrabah castle because Aladdin was my favorite Disney movie, but the Disney store my mom worked at didn't get any of them in, and she couldn't find it anywhere. About 10 years ago I found Ariel's castle and I bought it, and I would still buy any of the other ones if I found them. Love, touch, food, and just basic human contact /interaction. A horse, but my kid has one now smile face. Not getting screamed at. Friends. We moved around a lot and I was a weird kid, so I never really had a good chance to make lasting friendships. I have maybe one friend from high school who I keep in contact with on Facebook, but other than that, the only friends in my life are inherited from my husband. I really wanted a video camera as a kid, but they were too expensive. Eventually my family got one, but it wasn't to be used by anybody other than my parents, or maybe I could use it with them watching me, which I understand. By the time I was an adult and could just buy one, every cell phone had one and it just didn't seem as special. Self-esteem. Love. A clean house free of rats and roaches and clean clothes. That was literally all I wanted. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, like and subscribe.